Hi, welcome to Elaine Enlightening's video blog number 21. Today we're going to do lesson 12 in A Course in Miracles. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. So as we continue down this path of addressing these lessons, this continues to be another big shift and turning point. We think that we see a frightening world or a sad world or an insane world, and we think that's the reason we're upset, whether it's people or circumstances. And the truth is that we have given it the meaning that it has. We've given it all these attributes to the world, and that is why we've learned to see ourselves as separate from the world and to see that we are a victim of the world. And the truth is, we have enough power that we actually are creating the world that we see, which is really just filled with illusions. And the ego is creating all of this out of fear. So the Course in Miracles is all about progressively undoing this learning and this that we've taught ourselves. Very religiously, we've taught ourselves all this. And depending on, how many eons of time we've been working on these lessons, and also how willing we are to let them go, our progress will be in relationship to that willingness. And at the end, I'm going to share something in my experience that ties really well in with this. And what I'm finding as I go along in these lessons, and I'm doing them one day at a time, I'm taking them one day at a time, I don't even look at the lessons ahead of time, and I see what is given me to actually share this day. And what's interesting is I just have been feeling on some of these lessons like it's just do the lesson as it is, because it's so powerful as it is. And of course, as we go along down the road, we do more tapping on some of this, you'll be able to see the correlation from the past lessons into what we tap on. And we'll be able to go back and forth and bring more meaning and understanding. It'll make a lot more sense. But the idea right now is to realize it doesn't make sense, and that our own understanding is what we want to let go of. And so this lesson is to be done with our eyes open, and we're to just give ourselves time to look around the room and be fairly like a music beat, just kind of stay with a similar amount of time with each thing, as opposed to maybe sticking with one thing a little longer than another. We might be tempted to do so. And the reason is because we're learning that everything has equal value. This is a little bit challenging again for the ego, because we want to decide what's good and bad. That's why in this lesson we might say something is good or satisfying, and that is still a part of the lesson of undoing, because if we see something as good in the world, then we're going to also believe there's something bad. And this is the dualities that we're wanting to really collapse, so that we can learn to have true vision. With vision, we won't perish. We will be enlightened, and we'll be filled with love and forgiveness. Okay? So we just take a minute to do this lesson. And let's just start with the actual theme for this lesson first, on karate chop. We take a deep breath. It helps us to get grounded in and to focus and tune in. And just repeat after me. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. All right. And you can repeat what I'm saying or say whatever you want to say as you look around the room, but I'm going to say it out loud on this one. I think I see a fearful world. I think I see an unsafe world. I think I see an unsafe world. I think I see an unhappy world. I think I see a happy world. I think I see a hurtful world. I think I see a painful world. I think I see a terrible world. I think I see a dark world. I think I see a sinful world. But I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Okay, take a deep breath. What is meaningless is neither good nor bad. Why then should a meaningless world upset you? If you could accept the world as meaningless and let the truth be written upon it for you, it would make you incredibly happy. But because it is meaningless, you are impelled to write upon it what you would have it be. It is this you see in it. It is this that is meaningless in truth. Beneath your words is written the word of God. The truth upsets you now, but when when your words have been erased, you will see His. That is the ultimate purpose of these exercises. These are really powerful exercises, and sharing them is really amazing. I am starting to let go of judgment everywhere I look now. This has been something I've, of course, been working on over a year as I've gone through the course and also in my training. And it's pretty amazing how doing these lessons on these videos is really making some big shifts for me. And I've also noticed a lot of resistance at times. And that's also part of the process. It's just kind of like the world starts feeling a little upset and out of kilter, and that's just because we're letting go. It's part of the shift. But as long as we don't judge it as bad, it'll be okay. Okay, just like in the last video blog I shared about about this test that I'm doing, and it appeared like my first day was a failure. But what is failure? And that has a meaning I've given it, right? And we've got people like Thomas Edison who looked at something that didn't go well, an experiment that failed. He didn't see it as a failure. It was just one less thing he needed to try again. And it's just over and over and over we can learn these things, because we don't need to learn who we really are. We already are who we are in truth with God. But what we've done is we've created all of this other stuff, and it's the clouds that block the light, but the light is always there. So we're just letting this all go. As we're willing to, we will. And what was really interesting to me is, and ties in really well with this lesson, if you can see the correlation, is that whenever you see somebody in your experience that you're focusing on what you believe isn't functioning right within them. I mean, you know, it can be anything, and I'm not going to give examples. I'm just going to say it that way. Just anything that you perceive is wrong, or that they're not doing the way you would have them do, it really is about having a goal of sin. And what that boils down to is that we think we're innocent and they're guilty, and so they're the ones that have sinned. Whenever we see that happening, or it's happening to us, let's say we notice that someone else is seeing things about us that we don't see, and we can use that as a great lesson for ourselves as the mirror. But what we're doing is we're deceiving ourselves that we're innocent, because the truth is we are innocent the way God made us. But we're not seeing our innocence if we see others as not functioning properly or messed up, whatever it might be. And it's the other way around too. It works both directions. And we will never see our innocence unless we're willing to see that our brother is innocent as well, regardless of what he's doing, saying, wearing, where he's going, no matter what is happening, what we perceive. If we perceive the innocence, it will begin a healing process for both. And that fits nicely with this lesson, because we think we're upset because someone isn't functioning the way we think they should be, right? Because we have our own ideas of what concepts are correct and what's wrong and what should and shouldn't be done. And we're really upset because of the meaninglessness. That's really what we're upset about. We just don't want to recognize that. And this lesson helps us to realize that there isn't any meaning in any of those things except that what we've given it meaning. Okay? So that's enough for today. We'll see you next time. Elaine Enlightening at taplightunlimited.com. Bye-bye.